So we're at Richard B. Russell State Park, just outside of Elberton, Georgia. It's a little bit south of Hartwell, I believe. And we're at the far end of the park. The beach is just down where you can see some of the beach houses. You can see the lake, Richard B. Russell, or Russell Lake there, yep. And the entrance to the trails is in the corner of the parking lot. It's not exactly well marked, but it's here. As you come in, you immediately have a choice. You can go left or you can go right. We're going to choose to go left. And when we get down to the bottom of this very short little hill, we'll have another choice, which I'll share with you and give you the reason why. As you reach the bottom of the paved path, you have two choices. The trail is marked to go to the right, and that's a very well maintained. This is actually not wood chips, these are rubber chips. It's a fitness trail, but we're not going to follow that. It's called the Blackwell Bridge Trail. It takes us to the bridge. We will still get to that bridge anyway. In fact, what we're going to do is we're going to turn left here, and this is the most rugged of the trails in the park. We do it the first because it leads us out to something. It leads us out to a good spot. So we'll do this part first. And anyway, this one's a little bit more difficult to follow because it's not as well traveled. Throughout the park, you'll find orienteering markers, including the stamps. We'll see a couple on our trails today, but I'm sure there are much more, especially out on the golf course. That's how you could tell that this trail has not received a lot of people on it recently. All the spider webs remain. Blah! That was just a mouthful. All right, I'm starting to regret this. These webs are from the Juro spiders. It's an invasive species brought to Conyers, Georgia, from Asia a couple years ago, spreading and taking over North America. The spiders are terrifying looking, but they're actually not that bad to have around. Their webs are basically steel cables. When you walk into it, you know. And the interesting thing is the spiders really don't want to interact with humans. Walk through their webs once or twice, and they move them up to an area where they won't get hit as you walk through. So that's how I know no one's walked this trail in a while, because these webs wouldn't be here. Good thing about these spiders as well is they're not aggressive. They're curious, but they'll pretty much ignore you as much as possible, even though they are terrifying Halloween type spiders to look at. As you reach the end of this trail, I guess I should have come up with the color of the blazes. It's a yellow trail. I think it's still my favorite part of the trail, even with the spider webs on it. But as you exit that trail, you have a choice. You can go right or you can go left. If you go left, it takes you onto the grounds of the golf course. The golf course, I've been told, rivals that of Augusta's Masters course. I don't know if that's true or not, but when I do go out there to walk, it is beautiful. But today we're going to go downhill and we're going to go see the bridge. Looks like there's a tree down here. Let's see what happens up here. Let's see. Let's figure out how to get to the other side of this blowdown. I think we go under here. And then over this spider web. And we go through. Guarded by a spider that just dropped out. Let's see if we can figure out how to get through here without tearing down that web. Excellent. And walked right into that web. Ah. Ooh, here's a pretty one. Very pretty spiders. It appears the bridge is still down for construction, which is unfortunate because the trail we need is on the other side. But we can get to the other side quite easily. It is tempting to hop the fence and just do it, but I have time. One thing that we can't see at the far end of this bridge in the roof, or in the girders at the top, is a really large nest. That's an osprey nest. We'll try to see it from the other side of the bridge. Let's return back to the trail and walk down the road. Tempting as it is to go up to the golf course, I also get another opportunity to walk the yellow trail back to the crossroad. Yellow trail again being my favorite trail, and now that I know it's cleared of spider webs, I can enjoy it more. The road we crossed earlier. If we head downhill, it'll take us to a pavilion lodge. We can see the bridge from the opposite end. The Walter McNeely Lakeside Pavilion. As we come around the other side of it, you'll see it's a beautiful place. Be a great place to have an event of some sort. Hopefully not all the blinds are pulled, so we'll be able to see in. This is the trail we'll take back, but first let's go down and visit the bridge. I started visiting here just a year ago. This bridge was open to be able to walk across then, but unfortunately vandals were tearing up the floorboards and throwing them in the water, making it unsafe. And if nothing else, this is a historic bridge. There's another look at the osprey nest. I don't think there's anyone in it right now. You can usually see them from the boat ramp on the other side of the golf course. As we finish the fitness trail, including the backtracking on the yellow trail, we've gone 2¼ miles so far. It's not a lot, but it's pretty. So we're back at the original starting point. We're going to re-enter, this time taking the left, the blue trail, which will take us eventually to a crossroads of trails. And we can make more choices there. We reached the end of the blue trail. We're at 3.28 miles, which means the blue trail is about a mile long. And we have new choices. We could take an orange path back to camping, or we can go red, which is a loop. We are going to choose red today. Red takes us to the cottages. Cottages are very nice, by the way. I started coming here immediately after the Hurricane Helene passed through. The eye actually passed directly over the state park. And I spent quite a bit of time trying to clear these trails, which the rangers didn't really want me to do, but they didn't really complain either, so. On the red trails where we see our second orienteering. Next intersection we find means we can continue on the Cottage Loop Trail or head down to the cottages themselves. I think it's about a quarter mile, maybe a half mile down to where the cottages are. It's a nice sloping downhill similar to what we're on right now. If you do come, please take the opportunity to visit the cottages. It's probably a good place to stay if you don't have a camper or a tent. So we return to the crossroads. We're at 5.12 miles, which, let's see, we were at 3.28, so there was a specific distance that we just walked around the loop, and I'm not doing math at the moment, apparently. So 3/4 of a mile gets us to 4, plus 1, plus 0.1, so basically 1 3/4 mile, maybe 1.8 miles around that loop. So we're on the Orange Trail now, heading towards the campground. We actually will pop out into the campground. You'll get to see a little bit of that. And then we'll make our way to the beach. Welcome to the campground. We'll come down and look at one of the campsites before continuing on the green trail. They have sites that can accommodate large and small campers. This is one of the smaller sites. Comes with power, water. There's a Wi-Fi repeater up there. Bear bag hang. I don't know if there's bears here though. I haven't seen anything in the time I've been here. And we will drop into the green trail that takes you from the campground to the beach. Forgotten how rough this one is. So this is another nice trail to walk on because it requires a little more paying attention. After the leaves fall, it's actually pretty treacherous. It gets slippery. But it's very short. Ah, spider webs. Whoa, spider web. We arrive at the picnic area. The beach is just over the hill here. As we pass through the picnic area, we're at 6.2 miles. So just 10K. We're less than probably half a mile from our start point. The rock climbing wall is new. Squirrel! Yes, the squirrels are common, but more interesting, this park has a bunch of armadillo in it as well. First time I actually seen a live armadillo was in this park. First time scared the bejesus out of me. Now I think it might be one of my favorite animals. Usually one on this hillside right here. Maybe later in the day. And we return back to the parking lot. 6.6 miles.